Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a full plunge into the Fantastic Four. First steps. This film looks set to kick off a whole new era for Marvel's first family.
It really does.
We've pulled together basically all the key intel, everything you need to understand. It's a unique setting, the amazing cast bringing these icons to life, the creative vision behind this kind of retro-futuristic world, and what that title, First Steps, really means for you and, the whole MCU.
Yeah, and it's not just like another date on the calendar, is it? This is the 37th MCU film.
Right.
And crucially, it's the first film of Phase 6.
Yeah.
That's a massive statement, kicking off a phase with a rebooted Fantastic Four.
Could be. What does that tell us, you think? Maybe moving past origin stories straight into bigger stuff?
Could be. Definitely signals they see this team as central going forward. A second reboot, too. It's aggressive positioning.
Definitely aggressive. And
Yeah.
you can mark your calendars, folks. July 25, 2025, like you said, a second reboot, so a totally fresh start within this big MCU multiverse.
Okay, so let's get into this First Steps idea, because it's already doing something pretty different, right?
Yeah, it's escaping the origin story, like completely.
Which is huge.
We're not seeing how they got their powers again. The film just drops us in, 4 years after it happened?
Exactly. 4 years in. It's very much like how they brought Spider-Man into the MCU.
Yeah, no Spider-Bite recap needed.
Right. And skipping the origin, it's not just saving time. It's a narrative choice. It lets them focus immediately on the characters, the family dynamics, the burden of having these powers.
That feels mature, actually, for this kind of movie, especially for a team everyone basically knows.
It is. It avoids getting bogged down in what we've seen before.
So less how they got powers, more what are they doing with them?
Precisely. Which leads to the next big question.
Yeah.
If they're skipping the origin, what's the threat? What are they facing right away?
Good question. What is the conflict?
Well, they're not starting small. The Fantastic Four have to protect their world, this 1960s retro-future parallel Earth, remember?
Oh,
Go
cool.
from Galactus, the planet Devourer.
Wow, Galactus, right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. And his herald, the Silver Surfer. So, yeah, starting with that scale, for a film called First Steps, it tells you this team is already playing in the cosmic leagues.
The planet Devourer. Yeah, that's serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the mind behind bringing this specific vision to life?
The director is Matt Shakman. Many of you will definitely know him from WandaVision.
Oh, right. WandaVision was fantastic. Good choice.
Yeah, and the script itself has had a bit of a journey, which kind of points to this cosmic focus.
How so?
It started with Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer,
Oh,
but then Josh Friedman came on board to rewrite it.
okay.
And that seems to be when those big, ambitious 1960s cosmic elements, Galactus, Silver Surfer, really got locked in. Suggests a clear intention there.
So Friedman pushed the cosmic angle.
Seems like it. Then Eric Pearson polished it up, and Peter Cameron contributed too. So a team effort to get that balance of character and, cosmic scale.
And Shakman's own inspirations sound pretty wild. He said he wanted it to look like Stanley Kubrick made it in 1965.
Yeah. Using camera lenses and techniques from that era. He also talked about the space race optimism, Apollo 11.
Right, imagining it was the Fantastic Four going up, not Armstrong and Aldrin.
Exactly. That kind of historical reimagining. What kind of look does that even create?
I know, right? It sounds unique.
Shakman calls it a retro-future 60s aesthetic. A mix of the familiar 60s look and something totally new. Capturing that hopeful, inventive futurism, but with a Marvel spin.
And he studied the comics, too.
Oh, yeah. All of them. But he mentioned Jonathan Hickman's run from 2009 to 2011 as a key inspiration for the character approach.
Ah, the Future Foundation era. That makes sense for Reed.
Exactly. That philanthropic science organization solving world problems, perfect fit. Plus, inspiration from the legendary industrial designer Sid Mead.
Okay, so the visuals sound incredible. Let's talk about the family itself, the cast. Starting with the leader, Pedro Pascal, as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Right. The most scientifically intelligent person on their planet.
And get this, Pascal said his approach focused on Reed's mind, and he actually thought about the brilliance of an octopus.
An octopus. Okay, that's different.
Isn't it? How do you think that plays out? It's not the usual way people talk about Reed.
I mean, it suggests maybe a more fluid, adaptable intelligence. Thinking in multiple directions at once, it's definitely intriguing.
Yeah.
Not just purely logical, maybe.
Could be. Then Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman.
Reed's wife, Johnny's sister,
Yes.
force fields, invisibility,
Mhm.
and in this version, she leads the Future Foundation.
Wow, okay. So the foundation exists and she leads it.
Yep. And apparently it's achieved global demilitarization and peace on their Earth.
Whoa. That's a big deal.
Huge. And Kirby wanted to bring together different comic versions of Sue. Motherhood is a key theme, but she also wanted to avoid the goody, sweet mother stereotype by incorporating bits of Sue's malice persona from the comics, that darker, more aggressive side. Adds complexity.
Interesting. And the trailer showed she's expecting.
Right. Which definitely gives that First Steps title a very literal, very personal meaning.
Okay, moving on to Ben Grimm, the Thing, played by Ebon Bachrachas.
Reed's best friend, ex-astronaut, now rock skin powerhouse.
And Bachrachas made a comparison to his character Richie from The Bear.
He did, yeah. He said both are deeply loyal people, fighters with a strong sense of code, morality, family.
Huh. That connection to Richie tells you something about the tone they're going for with Ben, maybe more grounded, more heart.
I think so. It humanizes him, even though he's, made of rock. He's being portrayed with motion capture and CGI, of course.
Right.
And get this detail. They filmed a specific desert rock named Jennifer on set just for lighting reference. That's commitment.
Jennifer the Rock. Seriously, that's amazing.
And importantly, Marvel specifically wanted a Jewish actor for Ben, reflecting his comics heritage.
That feels significant. Not just a nod, but bringing that cultural background to the character.
Exactly. Underscores that loyalty and family theme. And yeah, like you mentioned, The Bear, the teaser even shows him cooking with Herbie. Nice little nod. Okay, rounding out the four. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
Sue's brother. Fire control, flight. Quinn apparently talked with Kevin Feige about Johnny's past reputation as a womanizer.
Oh, yeah.
And they decided on a version who's maybe less callous, more self-aware, but still has that bravado and humor.
Sounds like a Johnny who's grown up a bit, which fits if they're 4 years in.
Makes sense. Okay, on to the cosmic side again. Ralph Ineson is Galactus.
Big planet-eating guy.
Right. And Ineson doesn't see him as just evil, more like a god of sorts, just doing his cosmic job,
A force of nature, almost.
Kind of. Yeah. And Feige apparently used a clip of Galactus from Fortnite as a reference point.
Fortnite? Really?
Yep. But the good news for comic fans is the design is comic accurate this time, not like some previous attempts.
Okay, that is good news.
Yeah.
And Galactus needs his herald.
Shalla Bal, the Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner. Interesting choice, Shalla Bal instead of Norrin Rad initially.
It is. Garner talks about a mysterious energy between her and Galactus. She did motion capture, mixing surfing poses with these really statuesque poses from the comics, aiming for elegance, like a dance.
Sounds visually stunning. A graceful surfer.
Could be really cool. And we can't forget Herbie.
The robot, voiced by Matthew Wood.
Described as slightly put upon, but charming and adorable. And apparently invaluable.
How are they doing him? Practical? CGI?
Both, actually. A mix of a wooden puppet, a remote-controlled animatronic, and visual effects. Again, that commitment to practical where possible.
Love it. Who else is in the cast?
We've got John Malkovich, Paul Walter Hauser, who Joseph Quinn basically confirmed is playing Mole Man.
Ah, okay. Mole Man confirmed.
Natasha Lyonne. Mark Gatiss is a talk show host named Ted Gilbert. Sarah Niles. Oh, and an infant actor playing Franklin Richards, Reed and Sue's son.
Franklin? Wow, so he's born in the movie. Fits the First Steps theme again.
That.
Now, the elephant in the room, Dr. Doom. Lots of rumors about Robert Downey Jr. maybe showing up in a post-credits scene playing Doom later.
Right. That speculation has been everywhere.
But Matt Shakman said pretty clearly Doom is not a part of his film.
Yeah, he shut that down for this movie. What does that tell you?
It tells me they're focusing. Introduce the four, establish their dynamic, deal with Galactus first, keep Doom in their back pocket maybe.
Makes sense. Let the team and this initial massive threat breathe first. Doom's arrival can be its own event later.
Right. So after getting the cast, let's peel back the curtain a bit. How did they actually build this 1960s retro future world?
Well, they filmed mostly at Pinewood Studios in England from July to November 2024.
Standard big blockbuster stuff. Any location shooting?
Yeah, some cool spots. Turtle Door in Dorset, England, that iconic arch. A mine in Derbyshire Dales. And the Palace of Congress is in Oviedo, Spain. Stood in for the United Nations.
Ah, okay. And the working title was apparently Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, yeah.
Yeah.
And like we touched on, Shakman really pushed for practical sets and props.
Like the Baxter Building.
Exactly. The penthouse was inspired by, cozy, mid-century, modern California homes. Not just cold sci-fi.
Nice. And Reed's lab, Pascal mentioned the octopus brain.
The lab reflects that, maybe. It's divided into color-coded rooms, red for research, yellow for thinking, blue for communications. Very organized chaos, perhaps.
I like that. And they built Yancey Street, then Grimm's old neighborhood.
A fictionalized version, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on how New York's Jewish areas looked when Jack Kirby was growing up. Kosher groceries, a synagogue, incredible detail.
Wow. What does that level of detail signal to you?
It signals they're grounding this cosmic story in something real, something with history and texture. It makes the fantastical elements feel more impactful, I think.
Totally agree. And the props. Any standouts?
Definitely. They built a massive 14-foot scale model of their spaceship, the Excelsior, for miniature effects work.
Old school. Love it. What about the Fantastic Car?
Ah, yes, the iconic vehicle. Based on mid-60s American concept cars that were themselves referencing European designs. It's got a real 1950s retro future look. They made 2 models for different shots.
Cool. And the costumes. We saw them in the promo art.
Pale blue, white necklines, inspired by some 1983 comic designs, and apparently even a nod to Roger Corman's unreleased 1994 Fantastic Four movie.
Huh. A deep cut. Okay, so the world building sounds meticulous. How did they market all this?
The marketing's been pretty clever, actually, really playing into the mystery and the retro vibe.
It started with that Valentine's Day cast announcement, right? With the art showing a 1963 Life magazine cover.
Exactly. They subtly confirmed the 60s setting right away.
Right.
And Pedro Pascal jumped on social media referencing Beatles songs, reinforcing it.
Nice. But then the 4-4-day thing was really interesting for fans.
Oh yeah, April 4th, they put out a teaser poster, but the link led to a 404 error page.
With HERBIE.
Right, and a QR code. If you scanned it, it took you to this Future Foundation-themed page.
What was on it?
It suggested specific Fantastic Four comics to read. Their first appearance, the original Galactus trilogy, and Fantastic Four. Life story, which is also set in the 60s.
That is really smart. Engaging the comic fans directly, pointing them to relevant stories?
It's brilliant marketing, yeah. Creates a sense of discovery, connects the film to its roots. Then came the first actual teaser trailer.
Launched at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Right. Very thematic.
Very. And it got huge buzz. People noticed that stock sound effect, the kids' laughter from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that was everywhere online. Fun little Easter egg.
And notably, that first teaser showed everyone's powers except Reed's stretching.
Yeah.
Built anticipation.
It worked. Didn't it get insane views?
Over 202 million in 24 hours. Just huge.
Wow. Then we got more later.
Yep. CinemaCon footage gave the first look at Julia Garner's Silver Surfer and confirmed Sue's pregnancy, which, again, really lands that title meaning.
Right.
Then the April 17th trailer showed more action, and finally, the first glimpse of Reed stretching.
About time. And there's a comic tie-in, too.
There is. A Fantastic Four, First Steps one-shot comic, coming out July 2nd, 2025. It's presented as if it's an in-universe comic published by the Future Foundation.
Like an authorized retelling of their early days?
Exactly. Directly tying into the film's whole style and tone.
Okay, wrapping this up. It really feels like the Fantastic Four. First Steps is trying to carve out its own very specific space in the MCU.
Absolutely. It's not just another superhero movie. It's this deliberate mix of retrofuturism, deep character work, and very strategic first step into whatever Phase 6 holds.
The attention to detail, the setting, the characters connecting to the comics, it feels like they're aiming for something both familiar but also really fresh.
Seems that way. A big swing.
So what does it all mean? That title, The Fantastic Four, First Steps. It could be literal, like Franklin Richards' first step.
Or humanity's first steps into this new kind of space age on their Earth.
Or maybe the first critical steps for this iconic family joining the massive MCU multiverse.
So many layers.
Thinking about all that, it makes you wonder, what first steps might you take? To explore something new, a field of knowledge, maybe a personal challenge, something that could potentially transform your own future.
Deep thought to end on. Lots to chew on there.